Interesting. But on the other hand, it has been identified that for business to be successful in the world that we have today, the fact there are a lot of factors that militate against them. But for you, from your own
Yes.
understanding as a leadership coach, what are those factors that we need to also prepare for so that we won't just bounce into leadership position and these factors bounce on us and we begin to quiver? But let's have your take on that. Factors that militate against potentials of leaders.
Mm. So first of all, there needs to be a clear understanding that leadership starts with self. Yeah, the self leadership is very important. When you build yourself, the ripple effect now influences whatever outcomes. So, for example, things like integrity, things like good judgment, things like emotional intelligence, things like communication skills, and the ability to execute consistently, even when the odds are not in your favor or when you don't feel like it. Now, when you have embodied these characteristics, these character traits, these attributes, no matter where you find yourself, these are value systems you've built, right? And no challenge can hinder you. So people, a lot of times, people wait till they are appointed. People wait till they get that opportunity. And of course, you cannot pour from an empty cup, and you can't give what you do not have. So, but when you have already built in these systems and they've become a part and parcel of your life, regardless of the challenge, regardless of the bottleneck that you encounter, you will be able to surmount. You will be able to cross them over, with these skills that you've built over time.
Exactly. Now, on the other hand, for most Nigerian youngsters, I call them youngsters who are looking forward to to occupy leadership position. Most times they could exhibit some characteristics or some features that many will say, okay, they are good. These are good potentials for them to become good leaders. But we also discover at the end of the day, most of them, when they find themselves in a position of authority, they disappoint. What would have account to that from your own understanding as a leadership coach?
Yes, thank you very much for this question, because I work with young people a whole lot. And one of the things I've come to realize is that we have not made leadership development foundational. So we think it's those in the corporate space, career professionals, engineers, doctors, all of these fancy titles. They are the ones that are meant to be trained in the aspect of leadership, but it's wrong. So we need to, first of all, institutionalize leadership development from primary school to secondary school to university, right? There's a curriculum that encapsulates leadership development. So the challenges you see among young people is not far-fetched, and apple does not fall far from the tree. So it's because they are bereft of the knowledge, they are bereft of the ideas, they are bereft of the value systems that will make them to become responsible citizens of the society. So that's where you see the challenge. So, but what we can do to be able to overcome that is when we expose them early enough to responsibility, mentoring them and giving them opportunities to learn through real experiences and not just theory, you see. So by putting these systems and structures in place, we would have young people who are responsible.
Interesting. But also, let me quickly ask this, because last time you were here on the show, that was last year, you gave a lot of analogy and illustration on how best we can even teach these young people at this point in time. Here we are in 2026. A lot of youngsters or young people, I call them youngsters because I so much have hope in our young population. 2027 election is close by. A lot of them will be picking up form to contest for election. A lot of them will also be vying for appointment position when after the election, maybe SA, SSA and the rest of them. But what do you have to tell these young Nigerians who are looking forward to 2027 election and after the election for appointment and elective position? What do you need to tell them going forward they need to prepare for?
Well, it would be nice to have more young people in the political battlefield. But the question is, do they understand what governance is about? Do they understand what good governance is about? Do they understand what leadership is about? It's not about occupying a political position. It's beyond that. It's not just picking up a form and say, I want to become a member of the House of Assembly, House of Reps, I want to become a senator, or just fill up any vacant political position. No. You must ask yourself this: Am I going there to represent the interest of my people? Am I going there to actually provide the dividends of democracy, of good governance? These are some of the hard questions that young people who are aspiring to become political leaders must ask themselves. So I'll throw it back to them. It's good. It's a good thing to be involved politically as a young person, but please do not be an example of what you are trying to run away from. Yes, we must be able to chart a new course by understanding that the people may forget what you said to them. They may forget how, what you did for them, but they will never forget how you made them feel. And that quote is from Eleanor Roosevelt.
Interesting.
And I think that young leaders must be able to pay attention to these critical areas.
Exactly. And talking about leadership that cut across the political, this also boils down to the economic and business angle. For the young ones who are entrepreneurial, for the young ones who are into startup businesses and the rest of them, what do you have to also tell them? Because as they do say, the economic environment is always very tough. I have never seen or hear where anybody across the world tell every economic environment is easy. It's always very tough. But for the young ones that are into startup businesses, entrepreneurship, small business, micro level, nano level, what do you have to tell them at this point in time?
Well, the truth of the matter is that there's never been any generation that had it easy. Any person who you see today who has achieved greatness actually went through a dark tunnel. Now, that dark tunnel can represent many things, which for want of time, we may not go into that. Maybe absence of mentors, lack of finance, lack of structure, and all that. So those things exist, but you must tell yourself, I must get to the finish line. Sometimes it's not what we do not have that limits us. It's what we have, but we are not aware of. What we have, but we don't know how to use. So for young leaders who are into business, entrepreneurs, must look beyond the challenges and create solution blueprints, because actually success has many friends. When you achieve success, then the attention will be turned to you. Government will be interested in what you're doing. The private sector will be interested in what you're doing. Development partners will be interested in what you're doing. And I can share several examples. I mean, today, Florida Wave, I think it was last week, was listed on NICE, a global platform, economic platform. But it started in Lagos, Nigeria. Irrespective of the bottlenecks, irrespective of the challenges, irrespective of the power failure, but the young men who built that business actually survived through these challenges, and today we are celebrating them. So as a young person who is coming, you must come with a vision, and I talked about vision in the beginning. The ability to see what could be, not what is. If what is motivating you is what could be, I tell you, no matter the challenge, no matter how tough it is, you'll be able to scale through. So you must have a clear vision of what you want, and you must move beyond just survival. Your business, your startup, your venture must be beyond survival. It's not just for me to eat, pay my rent, drive good car. No, you will not last the test of time when challenges come. But if you're setting up that structure, if you're setting up that business to be able to solve complex problems facing Nigeria, facing Africa, then you have grown beyond yourself.
Exactly. Val,
and then you do everything. Yeah.
I have to appreciate you because of time. We need to go, right? And it's a fine place to leave it. You know, anytime I'm on set with you, I know you have enough to give to our young ones and to even give to the elderly, particularly those in the business sector. But thank you so much for coming on the show. I look forward to receiving you in the studio one of these days so that we can really talk more on leadership quality, that we can grow the economy beyond what anybody can think of. So thank you so much, Val Okafor, for coming on the show today.
I appreciate you. Right, thank you very much.
All right, now. I've been speaking with Val Okafor, to be a human capital expert based in Abuja. Very young, dynamic Nigerian with a vast knowledge on leadership potentials and expression and submission across the world. Thank you so much, Val, for coming on the show. And we have come to the end of today's show, the Market Report. I know many of you enjoy the beat of our talking point for today. And from Femi Foluwa, Aladein, and now to Val Okafor. My name is Adefolami Olamide. We come here with another exciting edition of the Market Report. That is tomorrow. Be a good citizen and stay out of trouble. Bye for now.